Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. We're talking about river flooding today. When you hear that, you probably picture an unstoppable wall of water wiping out a town in a matter of hours, right? It is absolutely catastrophic. But here's the wild paradox we're going to unpack. This incredibly destructive force is also fundamentally tied to human survival, and it literally shapes the ground we walk on.
To really wrap our heads around the scale here, look at the numbers. When we think of massive natural disasters, earthquakes or tornadoes usually steal the headlines. But river flooding actually accounts for a massive one-third of all global economic losses from natural catastrophes. And even crazier, it causes over half of all natural hazard fatalities worldwide. It is, without a doubt, one of the most consistently deadly hazards we face as a species.
So let's get into Section 1, the true cost of flooding, and understanding that human toll.
5 million. Take a second to process that number. That is how many people have lost their lives to floods in China alone since 1860. It's a staggering, sobering reality of living near these massive waterways. But the tragedy definitely doesn't end when the water recedes. For the survivors, it's really just the beginning of a cascading nightmare. Take the regular monsoon flooding along the Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers. It forces absolute mass displacement. People are pushed out of rural areas, desperately seeking higher ground, and they end up migrating straight into already overcrowded megacities like Dhaka. It completely rewrites global demographics.
And once these displaced populations are squeezed into temporary camps or incredibly crowded urban centers, the secondary disaster hits. You've got deteriorating, unhygienic conditions and contaminated water supplies. It's a cruel irony, really. The very water that destroyed their homes becomes a superhighway for deadly waterborne diseases, causing the rapid spread of things like cholera and diarrhea. Which brings us to Section 2, Washed Away, looking at the economic ruin and the collapse of infrastructure and livelihoods. We usually think of water as, fluid and yielding, right? But the physics here are downright terrifying. Imagine water moving at just 3 meters per second. That's basically the speed of a brisk jog. But at that speed, floodwaters have enough kinetic energy to completely undermine massive, solid building foundations. It literally washes the ground right out from underneath us. Now, how does it get worse? Well, when that rushing water picks up heavy debris, we're talking rocks, boulders, uprooted trees, the physical stress on buildings doesn't just double, it increases by hundreds of times. It turns the water into a battering ram that totally obliterates roads, airstrips, ports, you name it. To see what this looks like on the ground, let's look at the Meghna River Basin in Bangladesh. This physical destruction instantly wipes out local economies. When riverbanks erode, productive farmland just vanishes. Farmers lose their crops, their land, and often all their possessions overnight. And with widespread agricultural unemployment, they're suddenly forced into incredibly hard informal labor, like becoming day laborers or rickshaw operators just to survive. Moving on to Section 3, Environmental Damage and Siltation, and the scars left on the landscape itself. Because a river isn't just rising up, it's actively chewing away at its own banks. This immense volume of fast-moving water causes intense lateral erosion. It physically erases massive swaths of land, widening its path of destruction and literally, permanently changing the geography of the area.
And with all that erosion comes an unbelievable amount of silt. Now, some silt is totally normal. But excessive deposition, what we call siltation, is incredibly dangerous. It clogs up river channels, it completely fills critical reservoirs, and it heavily reduces how much water those systems can actually hold. So paradoxically, this actually triggers more frequent and even more severe flooding in the future, simply because the water has nowhere else to go.
Okay, we've talked about a lot of devastation. But right when you think river flooding is just this relentless villain, we have to pause and ask a totally counterintuitive question. What if the very waters that destroy our homes and erase our land are also the exact same waters that sustain human civilization? Let's explore that in Section 4, the surprising benefits of floods and how they act as the lifeblood of agriculture. It basically all comes down to the dual nature of silt. In a choked-up river, like we just talked about, it's a massive hazard. But when that exact same silt is deposited naturally and evenly across a floodplain, it transforms into fertile alluvium. It is quite literally nature's ultimate fertilizer, renewing the soils and making the land intensely productive for us. I mean, look at the incredibly rich soils of the lower Ganges Valley. That fertility isn't a happy accident. Those soils are entirely built up and replenished by regular monsoon flooding. Without those seasonal floods dropping fresh alluvium year after year, the perfect conditions for intensive rice cultivation, which feeds millions and millions of people, just would not exist.
And history absolutely backs this up. For thousands of years, seasonal flooding in the Nile Valley was basically a perfectly timed delivery system, reliably bringing essential water and nutrients right to the crops. The pharaohs literally built their entire empire banking on that river overflowing its banks.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Living with the Water, and how floods actually create our landforms.
You see, floods are actually natural architects. When rivers overflow, the heaviest sediments drop out right along the very edges of the channel. Over time, this natural process builds up raised banks called levees. It's incredibly ironic. The flood essentially builds its own containment wall, which ends up helping to keep future river flows in check and protects the surrounding land. And over centuries of this continuous flooding and deposition cycle, older floodplains evolve into river terraces. These are higher, flat areas of ground that give us exactly what we need: a much safer place for human settlement, kept nicely out of the water's reach, but right next door to all that agricultural bounty.
So river floods are massive, they're deadly, and they cause unbelievable economic ruin. Yet, they completely engineer the very soils and safe grounds that our civilization relies on. Which leaves us with one critical, ongoing challenge to wrap up this explainer. As we build massive concrete barriers to protect ourselves from the devastating physical power of these floods, are we accidentally starving the very land that feeds us?